Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We are delving into the first discussion for today, X-ray into the mid-tenure of President Bola MID-TENURE, taking a look at critical aspects. When I talk about the state of the nation. With me here in the studio, you get to hear put food on the table. You will not see or hear any of these things happening. No matter what, the people should be fed. If they are well fed, you will not see any of these disturbances. Whenever we hear of them, that is his own standpoint. People like say, yes, it's very correct. I also call him the voice of the masses. Join me to welcome Okoro Osaho Obaraye. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you so much, Hussein. Good morning. It's good to be here again.
And of course, I have an entrepreneur, a politician, youth mobilizer, you just name it, and he's madly in love with this present administration, and he has reasons to be. Let me welcome Samuel Eyegato, aka Aras 35. Welcome to TMI.
Good morning, Wilson.
It's been a while, like, 2 months or 3 months have not been on.
It's for a while, yeah, because I told you it's farming season.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been very busy with that.
Farming season.
Yes.
Maybe I'm just turning to farming very soon.
Yes, very much.
There's a lot of money in
That's
farming.
what the government wants us to do.
All right, joining us virtually all the way from Onwa, yes, is Comrade Fred. Comrade Fred, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very greatly. Good morning.
All right, good morning, Comrade Fred. Okay, and we're still expecting Elvis Brown to join us virtually all the way from Lagos. So when he joins in, you get to hear his own point of view. We're also expecting also Paul IEC Ogido to join us virtually. If you can make it to the studio, fine, for us to have a robust, yes, conversation. Let me start off with Okoro Osaho Obaraye. Remember before President Bola MID-TENURE entered the scene, Nigerians, though they were crying, they were grappling, some are saying things were better, though for some it was worse compared to when TINUBU entered the picture. Managers are saying, look, this is like the height of it. We've not seen this kind of thing before, and they're blaming it on his pronouncement of subsidy is gone. And here we are right now, 2 years into his leadership, rulership, so to speak. What do you have to say about it? Let's dive into the discussion.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wilson. I think for the very just as we speak, our president is not doing very well the way some of us thought he was going to do. Citing the benchmark he gave when he governed Lagos, those topography we saw that if he also comes to the presidency of Nigeria, things will be better. But as we speak for the very just now, I think if we were going to score him, he's yet to get a D.
A D?
Yeah, for the very just now. Let's leave him at the benchmark of 40, 45.
That's an E.
Yeah, an E. So the reason why I'm scoring this, you know, when you expect too much from someone, the person doesn't give you the top notch of what you expect, you should score him low. He has also done very bad on taking some decisive steps, unlike the previous government we once had, who kept quiet, who was mute when we started buying Naira with our own Naira. We also saw a president who came in to say things like that should stop. Though we can also say the fighting of corruption is good, but to me, it's also the same old story, old cock and bull story, because few we have seen, and the bite is not the bite we expect from a country that wants to forget about corruption. Then if we also go into, I think, if we also go into construction, we can also score another D, because the work we started 2 years ago, none is yet now to clear. Umar started Benin Abuja Road, Benin Lagos Road, Benin Saple Road, and I've traveled this one within the past 2 weeks. I've traveled Agbo Road, Auchi Road, Delta Road, Lagos Road the past 2 weeks. And we still have some sketch-up. Lagos Road is far better, but you still have a stretch of about 1 to 2 hours. You are going to drive on a bad spot. It's not smooth yet. Same. So I think by the time we're going to score, we'll score where we see things physically okay. But for the very just now, the food on the table is not yet very, very satisfiable for people. There's food on the table, but not very, very okay. Is it very better than the very last one? Yes, the last one left with a little below F9.
So a little below F9.
So this one has come on the E. So I think what we expect, I think we also saw some side denying, some side praising that the debt has been cleared. If debt has been cleared, it's not what we should see as fallacy. It's how we are able to. Each of us, you key. Where the thing you can see and forget, not be there. We should also see it reflecting in our stomach. I cannot pay debt when I'm hungry. I have to eat first before paying debt. I get it now. So if we want to count clearing of debt as a plus, the people that is paying that debt should not be shouting on the street that they are hungry. I'm sure there's no country that is well developed in this world that is debt free. So say you are debt free is not something you should be proud of. That is, to me, I'm telling you, to me, because you need money to continue. And hardly as a sensible businessman, you will put your own physical money on a business you know you are going to do. So you collect from this, that, do it, is the reserve or the gain you use in paying. That is also one. They want to also talk about security. Can we also now say we should score him high? All this is, I'm telling you, I'm telling you what we feel, not what we assume. Are we also happy with security system in Nigeria presently today? So if it was what's up before, as this one scoring A no, B no, C no, D no, still at the benchmark of E. So if we are also talking about practical governance, practical, not practical, because I think governance is no longer done in black and white. It's now digital. It's not verbatim. You see it moving. Are we also happy with what is happening now? Where JAM cannot even conduct, JAM has been jammed. Are we happy with that?
JAM has been jammed.
I'm not talking here as a party person. Remember that. Yes. I'm talking as Osao, Oko, Baraye, in capital. To me, in this present generation, that is a shame. To conduct ordinary examination in a country that calls themselves the giant, the Oga of Africa. Things like that don't happen in minute country. Some of us had the privilege of traveling around a few months ago, and we were able to see practical governance. Practical governance, you see it and you are sure where you are coming from. Your millions of naira, when you change it, will just enter your wallet in total.
All right.
Millions, I'm not asking you, change 5-6 million and it enters your wallet even without swallowing up. Then you are happy from where you are coming from.
All right.
So to me, we should see it as a government that should do better, because if you give this government tap to say you are doing well, when you know they don't scored well, if you know this is your government and this thing is right, and if this thing is right to be done to you, you should be happy about it.
I'll come back to
I'm not yet happy.
You're saying it's an E.
Yeah.
Later we'll delve into each sector. Well, Samuel, you heard him. He said he's speaking as Okoro Osaho Obare, not as a party man. He's saying he's speaking it the way he's feeling it. He's speaking it the way the masses are feeling it. You're part of the masses. What do you have to say about this?
Thank you very much, Wilson. I totally disagree with my dear brother Okoro Obare. Why I disagree with him, I expected more from him. Because as a man that is in the politics, as a man that is in the street, as a man that is versed with information, I expected more. Presently, let us speak of the different sectors he just spoke about currently. When you talk of reforms, reforms are always not friendly. Reforms does not come with sweet pot. There are some pains we must take to achieve success. For the first time, our governors are paying back their debts, not taking debt loan. For the first time, they have much resources to them. For the first time, you see all of them queuing to the president's agenda. Because why? They have saw things that probably the people on the street have not seen. I will point a lot of things out. Like the governors on the South and the Southeast, they are happy with the president because this coastal road coming is going to connect Nigeria for the first time from the south to the southwest to the southeast, south. It is a great improvement to the system, to infrastructural development. For the first time, we've seen the construction at Lagos Road, Abuja Road, Ekpoma, Aunchiru going on. We see construction going on Sapele Road, going to Delta. We see construction going on to Ondo, in different places. We see construction going in the north too, for the first time. Where are these funds coming from? These are funds the man has been able to bring out through the reforms he has brought out. That withdrawal subsidy. For the first time, the governors are receiving triple of their allocations. Where we should start asking questions. How does this reform spread to the grassroots, to the people? Then we have to ask our subnationals, which are the governors, what are they doing with these excess funds that are coming in? What are they impacting the people with? When we talk of, say, food agriculture, food availability, we know for a time we are buying bag of rice for over 100,000 naira. For recently, we are buying bag of rice for 60,000, 70,000 naira. It depends of about 30%, and we are still complaining. We remember a time here, subsidy was removed at the Eastern, all the petroleum dealers, they took it to 1,500. And today we are buying petrol less than 1,000 naira. Is that not an improvement? Talk of forests. He has been able to balance the forest system. Do you understand me? For the first time, Nigeria is able to boldly say, and the international world is boldly to even say, this man has been able to pay off his IMF loan for over 20-something years. First time in history. And you say you should not take praises to that? Is it not when you have capital that is of yours, you can invest into the system? When you have a debt to pay and you are paying interest on that debt continuously, it does not take us anywhere. And this is what has been happening for years. We saw the situation with NNPC, that they were paying debt with our resources, our income. They were not even paying allocation to the central bank anymore. All we are typing papers. And this man have stopped all those leakages. I brought more funds to the federation. Brought more better reforms. Reforms might take time. Where are you going to complain? I have expected that you complain about the unionism in our system. The unionism is in our system. We talk of price control. Nigeria is a country that we cannot say we can put a price control on everybody because we buy individually and independently from different markets. But if we can have a general price control on the dealers and work with the unions, we will find out that most things we are even buying right now. I went not long ago to Abuja. We say a rubber full of tomatoes is less than 2,500 naira. Can you imagine that? Go and price it in Benin, 15,000 naira. How much does it cost to bring that rubber, same rubber, approximately which cost less than 2,500 naira, to Benin. Are you going to tell me it's going to cost 10,000 naira? There are many things. Onions, go and price onions from the source they came from. And these are essential goods that are really expensive right now in the market. Not mainly the capital goods. Things are coming down already. Electronics are coming down. We knew of a time here, if you want to buy a car of short of recent, it was on the higher side. But you see the prices of cars are coming down too again because, yes, the market regulate price. It's an open price business. Look at the petroleum industry. They are doing better now. Things are coming. Reduction is coming almost every three days from Dangote. To give it a competitive pressure to the NNPC themselves. So, there are a lot of things that are going on very well. Good. We can complain. The food is not yet on the table the way we want it. Which this man had only just done 2 years of reforms. Another place I believe we should still work on more to make sure our people are well aware and are oriented is the orientation agency are not doing much.
Okay, just hold on.
These things supposed to be on the public domain.
All right.
Common man to see, to assess this government.
Okay.
But it's not because like in America we are talking about, you talk of JAM. There was a secondary school examination that took place in America not too long ago. What happened? There was a glitch in the system. So if a glitch in the system is a computer system, in the digital world there's no perfection. Even the best country in the world,
calm down. Aras, calm down.
That to judge our system.
Calm down. Just calm down.
Let us be sincere with ourselves.
I will come back to you. You know what? I'm beginning to like this discussion because everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Say the way you feel it. Now let's go visually right now. I don't know if it's Brown is there. Is Elvis Brown there? Okay, all right. Now you just hold on. I want to go on the break. When we return, we'll be listening to Honorable Fred and of course Elvis Brown. Let's get to hear their own point of view. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
TMI. Every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI Sunday's edition. We're taking a look at the midterm for President Bola Ahmed TINUBU, analyzing critically, so to speak, the state of the nation. Joining us via Zoom, I have Elvis Brown. Elvis Brown, how are you doing this morning?
Okay, Wilson.
All right. All right. I believe you've been listening to their point of view. So what do you feel about the performance of President Bola Ahmed TINUBU? This is the second year in office.
First of all, I would like to say good morning to. First of all, I think that I appreciate the position of my political leader in the studio, the person of Usaro Baraye. Being a member of the party does not stop you from saying the truth, because eventually somebody once said, if we talk, we go die. If we no talk, we will still die. Being objective is one thing that we owe the people of this country. Going forward to assessing the government, 1 year in office, or 2 years you said now, 1 year in office, sorry. 2 years in office actually, not 1 year. I want to say that it has been a government of impression. You know, trying to make impression. Like I said during our last interview, I said this government, everything the government does is tailored towards the next election, nothing more. So that's, for me, is a government of impression. How do you say that a government has removed, how do you celebrate subsidy removal when we are aware that without subsidy, fuel is not supposed to be more than at most 500 naira a litre, and we are buying it well over 1,000 naira? That's not supposed to be celebrated. How do you also say the government has paid the debt it owes? That's a lie. We shouldn't mislead the public. Government collected money. It's an emergency fund from IMF. Emergency fund from IMF during the COVID-19. It's an emergency fund. You are supposed to actually pay it. And the Buhari government collected that loan and then didn't pay it. And so he has come into power, and the IMF is saying, look, this money is not supposed to be a money you tied down. It's an emergency fund. So pay back, and then he paid it. So why are they making public spectacle about paying a loan that was supposed to be an emergency fund? As of today, we are still owing trillions to different organizations, different institutions, different countries. A lot. If I can, as I'm sitting down here, I can give you a list of debt that we still owe. So to say that they have paid the debt they are owing is misleading. We have not paid the debt we are owing, because so far we still owe about $42.5 billion. In short, the ones that he borrowed, the one that this present administration borrowed, over $42.5 billion. None of it has been paid. You're not even talking about the one that were owed before he came into power. So paying the emergency fund is commendable, but does not translate to paying off our debt. That being said, everything that the government has been doing is about 2027 election. I can give you instances, all right? Now that the governors are queuing behind the president is not a sign of performance. It is a quell for survival. So nobody should mistake it for, endorsement of performance or endorsement of policies. It is everyone that is queuing behind the president wants to survive the next election. And they have seen that the process that is coming towards that election is not a process that is going to be free, fair, credible. How do you say, first of all, that anybody who does not vote might become a criminal offense by 2027? You pay fine and then you go to prison for not voting, first of all, even though you are hungry. It doesn't matter to the government. Then, how do you now say that you're going to put aside the machines, the beavers and all that, and allow people to just go and vote freely? So they're already seeing that there is a pattern, that people might just go to the polling unit to vote, and then a desire. So let us just be in a place where it is going to be convenient for us to win election. Let's move away from that. Other policies that we are seeing, issues of insecurity, I am not sure that it is better than where it was met. I'm not sure, because recently our military were attacked in the northeast. The videos are everywhere. Kidnapping is still on the rise. So to assume that it is better, we need to look at data. It's not just because we want to talk good of the government. All right? Are there areas that this government has actually tried? I would say he has tried in reducing the number of critics that he has. How do you do that? It is by arresting, it is by detaining, it is by oppression. It is not because people have suddenly lost their voices. It is because people are forced to hang their voices. You see what happened to the Nance president. You see what happened to Very Dark Man. This is what happened to a lot of all these people. So people are scared to speak up, because as you speak, today the EFCC is more interested in arresting the people that spray money than is interested in arresting political office holders who have actually embezzled money. And we're not seeing these things in the country. So that the same people that we have had EFCC cases before he came into power are now in the government. A whole lot of almost all of them are now in that government, and they have become saints. So the fight against corruption is worse now than it was during even Buhari's tenure. That is, Buhari had the guts to distance himself from those people who are corrupt, even though they were not going to jail. But in this case, the question is not whether or not you are corrupt. The question is whether or not you are loyal and you are willing to deliver. So that is what we are seeing. So a lot of all those issues that, we trying to want to analyze the government on all for which other aspect? Is it the price of commodities in the market? Let's not even go there. Price of food? Is it the cost of transportation? Let's not even go there. Of course, is my working on roads?
Okay.
Edo Delta.
I will come back to you. I will come back to you, comrade. Just come down, come back to you. Let's get to Omar right now, visually, to join Honorable Fred. Let's get to hear his own point of view, because I'm beginning to feel the impact of this particular discussion for and, of course, against. Come on, Honorable, why are you putting on blue? All right, go ahead. What's your own take?
Okay, good morning, Nigeria, and good morning, my fellow comrades in the One thing I discover over the years is that talk is cheap, but action is expensive. I always look at the economic system, the economic situation. Let us be objective. You know, for a government that somebody should compare to where things said to be working, so to say, that kind of policy system that we put in place did not just start yesterday. It started a long time, and if I'm not mistaken, you can talk about maybe over 40, 50 years that people have put up such policy in place. Now, if you are saying that a Tinubu will just come to this country and create a magic system that will make a reform overnight, I don't think there is anything like government magic that will bring about such reform. You know, it's on record that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, before he came to power, there was no refinery working in this country. People were scared. Nobody had the guts. No president had the guts to remove fuel subsidy. You see, one of the major problems we have as masses is that we are on the outside. We are not in the government. We are not in the policy making or implementation sector. So we do not know how things really are on the inside. When you talk about significant achievement of this government, talk about economic and fiscal reforms. Via the debts, what's it called? The debt payment that we have had in the recent times, and so many other things. Look, you can see now today that fuel subsidy removal in mid 2023, when he just came to power, it eliminated a lot of fuel subsidy. Aim to reallocate this fund to infrastructure. Somebody is saying that construction are going on and we have not seen the end of it. I want every one of us go closer to where they are doing this construction, and you will find out that it is not the regular road construction we used to see. What it is right now, you will see, for example, if you are on Ekpoma Axis, just go to that place and see what is going on. The depth of chippings, stones that have been buried on the ground, and the iron rod that has been put on it. It means that if you are building, or when you are building a skyscraper, you do not just start today and finish it next week or next month. You have to dig deep. By the time those road construction you have, especially the coastal highways you are seeing on all the roads, the Minister of Works is doing marvelously well at the instance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those roads will not have pothole in the next 50 years. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to exaggerate here. I'm an objective person. I not fear any face. I'm telling you the way it is. When you talk about the benefit of fuel subsidy, you can see now that the government revenue doubled to over 9.1 trillion naira. You understand? And you are still saying that the government is not living up to expectation. No. When you talk about failure from agency, MDAs, and all that, Mr. President cannot be a JAM Director General or a JAM coordinator. Mr. President Tinubu cannot go and be a Minister of Defense. Everybody has a responsibility to nation building. Now, when you say there are failures, I agree with you. Those failures, people that failed are the ones that should be mentioned and should be held responsible. Now, we are talking about, other people trying to decamp or decamping, and you are attributing it to survivor. I would disagree with that. The reason is that nobody wants to live where, you have, you can't stay where there is crisis and think you can survive. In PDP, we're supposed to be the major opposition today. They are in crisis. That is their status. Just check it. That is their status. And nobody wants to stay in where there is crisis. And President Tinubu, in his magnanimous as a father, open his heart and say, whenever you have crisis, please, I am here to receive you. It cannot be in PDP. But those who are in PDP who are coming, they are coming out of their own volition. And that does not mean that we are now going to be attributing that it's a survivor. No, when you make any error, the law will take its course. And let me go a little bit about what the other of my brothers said, that the scoring him 40% or thereabout. I mean, I want to also disagree, because the truth of the matter is that we knew where this country was, and we know where we are today. For over 16 years, no refinery worked in this country. But today, refinery have started producing. The price competition is actually, the government is winning on the price competition. I can assure you, by the time all the refineries are working, by the end of 2027, when the refineries are working in this country, fuel will drop to less than, let me not too predict, but at least we can buy less than 200 naira. And apart from that, apart from the reform that the president is doing, maybe most of us are not aware. That's why I said talk is cheap, action is expensive, and ignorance is not good. We should go detail and see what's going on. Compressed natural gas, immediately there was fuel subsidy removal. The president initiated presidential natural gas initiative. If you buy a gas of 3,450 of gas, of CNG, you can travel from Benin to Ekpoma and back to Ekpoma, where you would have bought a fuel of maybe 40,000, you will spend 7,000 naira fuel. We should key into some of these policies so that we would have a breath of fresh air. Rather than complain, we should truly know what the government is doing, key into it. I was speaking to a House of Assembly member. A House of Assembly member, he is not even aware of presidential natural gas. Such a person will also come and criticize the President TINUBU that is not doing anything. Meanwhile, he was the one, as a citizen, who could not key into the various transformation policy of this country. This is a very big problem, and I want ITV and other media, especially the national orientation, they should do more by enlightening the public of, policies that they should key into. Look at agricultural sector, for example. What the money that was meant for subsidy has done in the area of agriculture. Agriculture, only tractors alone, over 2,000 tractors have been procured by the federal government. I'm not even talking about the state government. If I look at what the state government is doing, they are doing fantastic job in the area of agriculture. This money came from subsidy removal money. That's where this funds came from. Development and transformation of economy does not happen overnight. It's a procedural process that will eventually transform into an enviable transformative policy that will benefit the whole of Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
Let us be focused on what President TINUBU is doing.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Well, we have a balanced discussion here, two giving it the way it is, two others giving it the way it is. So don't say one is saying it or saying that they are saying it from their own point of view. After all, the elephant is a huge animal. The point or the angle or the aspect to view the elephant from, that might just be our own view. Having said that, we'll go on a break. We'll reach out, we'll come back to Okoro Sawabari to react to what, Comrade Fred just happened, and of course some of the point raised by Comrade Samuel Eyigato. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We'll take a look at the midterm of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a critical analysis or look into the state of the nation. I have Fred Aliburu from Owan, of course, this Brown from Lagos joining us virtually, and with me here in the studio I have, of course, our Barry and of course Samuel Higato. They are speaking the way they are feeling the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, some called him high, while others called him low. It all depends on your perspective and your angle. But if we bring everything together, totally, we're going to know how to rate Mr. President in the midterm of his tenure, so to speak. Now, let me go to Koro Salbari. You heard their opinions and, of course, their view. Please react to it. Some are saying, you saying the roads are not yet complete. You also saying one thing that you hold about feel that they are not in tune with your own submission. That's from Samuel Higata and, of course, Fred Aliboro.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wilson. I think one thing I also want us to do is that we should save videos so that sometimes when we speak in a few years back, instead of us repeating ourselves, the video will be replayed and you watch yourself listening to yourself. And so also we should also try to understand the terms of what you asked. You asked the midterm report. Midterm report.
Yes.
So if you're asking midterm, you are not telling me full-term report. So if a road is still under construction on midterm and it's not at finishing stage, should I just call that road pass? Because same road Obasanjo just started, same road Buhari did, same road is doing. So until it is finished and it is through the I mark, not air mark, I cannot say pass or failed. So I have not said, that's why I didn't say F9. If it was F9, if it was F9, I would say he failed. So there's time for him to do. I also heard my brother saying, Umai is doing a good job via TINUBU. Who argued that? But say my brother said, TINUBU cannot be the jam head. You can see somebody trying to put a man where there is success. That same man deviating from the failure. A good leader should accept both failure and success. Yes. That's leadership. All right. So if Umar is doing well, you say he's doing it via TINUBU. But the jam, can TINUBU be there? Can TINUBU be Minister of Defense? No doubt. So who are we going to? Who? So we should say, if you know why you see sometimes when you sweat less and stress less, when you say things the way it is, you are telling me about all reforms. Nobody is disputing that. Until the food is on the table of the man on the street without stress, nobody has done well. Don't let us shy away from the truth. Not all the English, all the abakataba. Until the food, until we go back to our dustbin, way back, when we brag with ourselves to say, my member know there, we know the chop and the dam of yesterday. And truly you see it in the dustbin. Nothing is good on the street. Don't let us shy away from there. We are saying bag of rice has reduced. How can we get it now? If I can they? So me, I'm not saying it for myself. We should say it for others. If we decide, somebody also told us about the gas issue. Can a poor man that I get balance and carry on a bus without me supporting him go and put it on his car? This is what I'm telling you now. Don't go far. Go to CNG. Tell them you want to put CNG on your car. You want to convert it from fuel to gas. Go and do it. No me, I can, but I don't want to. I prefer using fuel. I don't want to. I prefer using. I can't afford fuel. But for the man that took money from Lapo, he and the wife as a shorty, to buy a combi bus, small bus, can that man also that take another loan again to out of the first loan to do that one? So if it was truly what was cheap, everybody will queue behind. You can also see the protest of day 4 days ago that there's already hike on it. All this is I'm saying, I am not saying it. I watched it there. Protest. And if you are also the person that uses gas, I'm also aware you are sure of the long queue to it. So there are things, me I'm not saying things are not good or I've not said so. I've not said that you guys a face state. Never have not said so. Because I live here, I also understand the terrain here. But are things well now? No. Things are not well. Then we should be factual to it now. If Okay, I'm leaving here now. By 10, I will take my breakfast along Igun Street by Guadalajara Junction. It's a 4th junction. What I'm telling you now is not skyrocket. If you are free, you go. Wishing the people that will come and look at you when you are eating are more than the people that are buying food to eat. Not disabled men, not disabled men on the line, not disabled men, able-bodied men. Not drug people. I'm not drug people that will come to beg you for food. They come to beg you for money. These people come to say, I want to eat. I want to eat. So if the system is working well, there are things, even I'm not saying everything must be fine. No, I'm not saying we're in a place where there's no wahala. No, a place where there's no wahala is cemetery, where you just sleep and nobody disturbs you. You don't pay rent, you don't pay light, you don't pay everything, just calm. Nobody comes to visit you, you don't go to visit anybody. But in a place where we are now, if we decide to enter bus to Lagos State as we speak today, listen, the minimum you are going to get is above 20,000. So how can a man that is begging for food go to Lagos to do something? I don't want to talk about flying. Don't let us go there. Don't let us go there. Don't let us go there. If you want to go there, it's above your salary, listen, to fly to Lagos. I don't know your salary, but
focus on the issue.
I know what it takes to fly now. So it's above. It's neatly above. Then if you want to not fly, listen, let's go to Lagos, fly your ticket. How are you going to fly it? Don't let us go to people to ask. I always want to do things that are yeah. If I decide to fly, that can come out of my business and I can take both of us to fly. But you cannot do it. No. Are we in a good system? In a system, there are things that are supposed to be in place for it. We are scoring for 2 years. You didn't say we should score him for 4 years that we've not seen. So there are things we should know. If the man has decided to build his own empire for 2 years, I think we should be able to score him.
Okay.
So how come we are still doing? I'm a civil engineer. Leave politics and leave my business. That is my profession. Building Lagos, Benin Road, Abuja Road, from the scratch, it can take you for 2 years. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, for a serious government. For 2 years, you can do it. I'm not asking you what I'm telling you.
You're speaking as a civil engineer.
Listen. You see what they are putting at over here. It's taking them 18 months. It can take 8 months, it can take 11 months. What I'm telling you now is not, I'm not telling you about how to plant Gary. I'm telling you what I learned as a civil engineer. What I learned as a civil engineer, it can. Whether or no weather, it can. The only weather it cannot take is if the rain falls from morning till night continuously. All right. If it's not, how come people put bridges inside the river? How come? There's bridges. If it was river from here to Sokoto, how come people put bridge continuously inside the river? Not to talk of even when you have a dry land to continue moving.
I'll come back.
So in a same society, if you say for 2 years, the man's child, my brother, don't want me to give him F9.
Calm down, Barry. What your emotions? What some of them after you heard him, he says he's speaking from the eyes of the people. He's speaking from what the people are feeling per time. So you take it up from there.
Listen, definitely. You know, I keep saying one thing. When reforms are done, you don't just expect hurrah immediately. These are things, policies that takes time to develop. These are policies that takes time to be established. Are you understand me? So when you are just criticizing, when you are not even look at the policies, I've not seen him even talk about any of the policies. And what are governance? Governance is policies. Governance is not coming to give you job or coming to put food on your table. The government is going to give you policies that will enable you to build yourself or to empower yourself or to start up on yourselves. And this is a government, for the first time, we have something called student loan, giving children of less privilege the opportunity not to be denied education for the first time. Good. It is not yet wide awareness, because I discovered in the South, it is not too well aware. But in the North, it is functioning very well. These are policies that will help our parents to have more money in their pocket too, when he's not paying for the school fees of his children. He can invest that money into something else. This is for the first time. We are seeing tech fund. People are being given empowerment, starting funds to start business. It is the problem we have is I keep going back to the Ministry of Orientation, the National Orientation Agency, because if these things are well published, many Nigerians are able to take advantage of it. It will help a lot of things. There are digital forums the government have also established for people to train on tech. How many of us are taking advantages of this? Because the world is expanding, it's going on. You are complaining of a road. When a road contract is being given as a civil engineer, claim to be, you tell me the government...
not claim
No,
to be.
he is a civil engineer.
Okay, you are.
He is.
Okay, you are.
Not claim to be.
Good.
Yes.
That you are. And you give a government, I'm going to do this road for 3 years to give you a solid road. And another engineer will come and tell you, Osama Baraye, why did you tell the government 3 years? I can do it for 1 year and 6 months. Before you can do that, you should be able to prove to the government, you should be able to prove to the people that really you can do it in that short period of time. Because I believe, by our sensitivity, these things are being proceeded through procurement system, which shows this is what I can do for so period of time, this is what I can install on so period of time, and this is when I can have a finishing job. They don't just jump in and say 3 years. If the coastal highway was given a period of 5 to 6 years to construct, automatically you know it's not going to be finished by this government. Let's say the government that begins it, probably. That the next government, the important now, the next government coming, is he carrying it along? Has it continued? Yes. Continue massively and highly, because now he has even more funds than before the previous government. Then you ask questions. Local government today, they have more funds to their coffers. You are seeing local government tying roads today. Seeing local government building health centers and schools. For the first time, we see. These are things, sometimes it might not be visible to all. But we should also accept the positive aspect of it. I don't believe that to criticize the government is all what is the problem. We know every government has gaps. We should be able to say, yes, these things are going excessively good. But the government should do more. Talk of military infrastructure. People keep talking every day. We need to go on digital. We need to get the drones to fight the military. We need to do these things. Yes, these are things.
To fight the insurgents.
To fight the insurgency. These are things that derive funds. You know how much it costs? So the government are still doing what they can do. Recently, they brought the France, that brought all these drones, brought all these techniques, that are training Nigerians right now. About a month ago, 2 months ago, we saw it on the news. You know, so there are things going on. Where we still complain, I will still put it to my brother. Put food on the table he's talking about. It's not a government fault alone. It's not government fault alone.
Why he talked about
We
the
have
CNG.
problems. We have problems ourselves.
Yes.
Me, him, and the dealers. The same market women. We all have problems. We have a contribution to play as a role. It's not just to say government, government, government. A woman will go to the farm to buy a plantain for 2,500, As long as he bring it to the city, he's telling a bunch of plantain. I priced a bunch of plantain yesterday, for yesterday, 25,000 naira. Come on, we sing.
You see.
25,000 naira for a bunch of plantain. By all reality, is it the TINUBU administration that made that first like that? When you bought for 2,250 and you buy in massive, and you transport this thing all together, maybe you transport it for 50,000, 30,000, add it by this thing will not still get to 10,000 naira. And the woman is boldly telling me, you never go market recent. Then you go think about corn, which is the common man food during the season. That to just drink, eat corn, then you pour water, put your belly go full. You get protein, you get everything. A common man want to buy a corn, you are telling him 600 naira, 500 naira for a single corn. And you are going to buy this bag of corn in the bush for less than 100 naira. If on per stock. So there are things we need to say to the people. The truth must be told to our people. Let's tell the market women the truth. Let's tell our farmers the truth. Let's tell our people too the truth. We need to change ourselves.
So you say we are the one hunting ourselves.
We are the most hunters of ourselves because look at the fuel issue sometimes.
All right.
When you see sometimes when Dangote will say, I reduce the cost, you start saying that most filling stations will not be selling fuel. Is that the government said they should not say they hoard it? That hoarding is to inflate the price the moment it opens.
All right.
There are things we need to start talking, which I believe the National Orientation Agency is not doing a lot about.
Thank you, Aras.
That we, the press, that come to the press to represent the people, we should be able to tell the people the truth.
That is why you are here. That is why all of us, we are here talking about as well. It's all about the midterm of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We're taking a look at the state of the nation. Yes, some for, and of course some for. I said it because different eye view, different perspective. We'll go on another break. When we return, we're going to hear from Elvis Brown. After that, we're still going to hear from Fred Aliburu. Let's get to see if we can make sense totally out of this discussion. Let's see how we can forge a common path for Nigerians to be at least, you know, feel the impact or envisage, that's the right word, envisage the impact of governance in the next 2 years. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. Quickly, let's move straight down to Lagos, where this Brown is standing by. You've heard the submission, the second submission of Okorosa Obari and, of course, Samuel Ehigato. They are saying, look, the National Orientation Agency should do well. Yes, there were some policies that the government of the day talked about. You forget about fuel, go to the presidential compressed natural gas. And that idea or that point was given by Fred, and it's true. But as of yesterday or 2 days ago, there's a protest in Benin. Obara, you're correct about the protest. They're saying that the price has been increased. The commodity is not even scarce. If it's scarce and it has increased, do you think you score the president in that particular conversion? Now, what's the money, total amount needed to convert from fuel using vehicle to compressed natural gas using vehicle? Anyway, let's get straight down to Lagos, where Elvis Brown is joining us visually. Elvis Brown, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Winston. I don't want to go back to the issue of the gas. I think my leader has dealt with that rightly. But let's look at the issue, the call for National Orientation Agency to tell us about this government. I think what they're advocating for is for us to get the National Orientation Agency to convince the people that the price of food is not actually expensive, even though we are buying it very expensive. We need the National Orientation Agency to tell us, or the news media, to let us know that the deduction that we now see in our transaction, so that if I send you money, I am charged and you are charged, which the president introduced through the CBN. We need to now get the National Orientation Agency to tell people that it is not the way it is. That's what they're advocating for. You need the National Orientation Agency to tell the people that the cost of goods that we are buying, even though very expensive, It's not actually expensive. We are just the one that are, hallucinating that it is expensive. We need them to also inform us that the same government that came into power that actually increased duties on importation, so that one container now, you need over 23 million naira to clear one container. We need them to also inform us that that is a fallacy. It is not real. We need them to let us know that the cost of transportation, even though it's very high, it is not real or it is temporary. These are the things that they are advocating for. Because I don't understand what you need the people for, what you need these agencies for, to inform you if you are feeling the impact of the government. If the people are the central point of this government, what do you need? Do you need the media to tell you that the bag of rice was less than 15,000 naira before APC took over government? Is that what you need the news media to tell you? Or you need them to let you know that 100 naira onion used to be in a big bowl, a rubber, but now you buy one for 200 naira or one for 500 naira? Is that what you need the media to tell you? So if the overall policies are good, the people will feel the impact of the policy. You don't need the media to tell you what you are feeling. Do I need the media to tell me that I'm sick? Do I need the media to tell me that I'm hungry? Do I need the media to tell me that, look, the money I have, if I go to the market with 50,000 naira, that fertilizer will barely cook a pot of soup? Do I need the media to tell me that? So if you are now advocating for people, media, and the National Nutrition Agency to start telling us the things that we know, it means you are insulting our intellect. You are telling us that we don't know what we are doing as a people. That's what we are advocating for. But let's even narrow this thing down to why the cost of goods are expensive. Somebody said he wanted to buy a bunch of plantain, was 25,000. But the question is, why not? Because the market also is uncertain. The uncertainty in the market is alarming. If you go to the market today and you buy a bunch for 5,000 naira, for instance, and you come back and sell it for 7,500 naira, by the time you are going back, the people are telling you that a bunch is now 10,000 naira. So you need additional capital to go back to buy the amount of market you bought the previous time. So why would they increase the monies for these products? Nobody's addressing those issues because the cost of transportation is alarming. So definitely it will boil down to everything that we are buying. So in removing the subsidy in itself, good, laudable. But what are the things that were put in place so that the impact of the subsidy removal will not be telling on the masses? There was nothing. We just heard that subsidy was gone and it was gone. Then after it was gone, they now start thinking. Somebody said the government want to bring down the cost of prices. Let us stop deceiving the masses because the masses are aware. The masses are not stupid. Look at
Seems to be having some technical connectivity issue right now with Elvis Brown. If able to reestablish contact with Elvis Brown, definitely going to hear his own conclusion on this matter. Let's move straight down to Oman where Fred is standing by. Fred, over now to you. You used to hear the submission of Samuel Higaton, of course, of Okoro Sawabare and Elvis Brown before we had that internet distortion. Now, we want to commence our dissent on this particular discussion. What advice will you give to Nigerians that say complaining bitterly that though Mr. President is doing X, Y, Z, is not getting down to the masses of the masses, the grassroots, so to speak?
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible.
You're audible? Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, I find it very disturbing. I find it very disturbing when people ignore what the president has done concerning every sector of the economy in this country. For example, the first thing the President Bola Ahmed TINUBU did when he removed the fuel subsidy was to create this presidential compressed natural gas initiative, PCNGI. And what they did was to, engage with various unions, transportation unions. Who drives the transport? Who takes goods from one place to the other? They are transporters. And the National Union of Road Transport Workers was given free conversion kits. Free, quote, you can verify. Free conversion kits. And not only them, we have the NATO, the National Association of Transport Owners, NATO. You have the Retain National Employee Association of Nigeria, the road. You have so many of those transport sector unions, they were all giving, their members were giving free conversion kits. And let me tell you, for the avoidance of doubt, you can just go into any of the unions and ask them, did you receive these kits? They will tell you, if no matter how ricketing a vehicle is among these members, they have PCNGR. What you should say is that the people, the beneficiaries, should be able to come together, and not after buying gas, you still charge the same thing that somebody who buys fuel charges. The only problem we have is that we are not able to actually go into details to see what the government is doing. Now, we have the ride-hailing operators, which comprise of Uber and Bolt and all the rest. They were also given 50% discount of the total cost of conversion. But we are saying, as what is good for Mr. John is also good for Mr. Barnabas, that if you have given to the National Union of Road Transport Workers free kit, you should also give the Amalgamated Union of Air-Based Transporters of Nigeria, which represent the e-hailing sector of the economy. Now, I want us to let us balance this thing. You cannot give all these things to the whole Nigerians at once. I mean, governance, policy implementation is a gradual process. It does not happen overnight. Only magic happens overnight. And anything that happens overnight must crash. Are we suffering in this country in all the sector that he has mentioned, the market and all the rest? I can tell you for free that some of these unions, even market unions, what happened in Edo State when the governor quickly had to dissolve the unions who hike prices of food items in the market. And that's what's going on in the whole of this country. We should not forget the human factor and the human greediness. We are not going to just get it right overnight. Let us be patient. Everything will fall to. The government is not resting. It's not sleeping. The government is a work in progress. And we must be patient to follow. What we are doing is good. Constructive criticism is very good. But we should not forget that to mention what the government have done and what is doing, even the meaning of its policy. When we all put our energies together to help also drive the implementation, when you enter a vehicle that is using CNG and is charging you, you should be able to tell the driver, I will report you to the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative of what you are doing. You understand? So these are the issues.
Thank you so much. Well, that's his last line on this discussion. We have another discussion. We have to go right now. Very briefly, your advice to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and, of course, Nigerians. Briefly.
Yeah, my advice to him is simple. It hasn't taken 2 years for the Burkina Faso president to have his name written in gold boldly as we speak. We can even see people now. He's the most popular person. Google it. He's the most popular person on the internet right away. The Burkina Faso president. Nobody wants to see him as a military administrator. His humility, his focus in making sure Burkina Faso leaves the grip of the Europeans and Americans to make sure their things are done. He hasn't taken 2 years. And I think if he hasn't taken a man that doesn't have a very wide cabinet, 2 years, he should not take a man that has what it takes from up to down, a man that was once a governor, 2 years to have people feel his impact. Are you getting it now? So we must be factored to ourselves. I have not said he has failed. The only reason why I say he has failed is when we come back to rally to say 4 years. So he has what it takes now to complete it. If somebody can do it in less than 2 years, the facts are there. Burkina Faso president.
Traore.
Yeah, Traore.
All right.
You can see it by yourself.
Thank you.
That people, when they even said that people wanted to disturb him, Nigerians, my friend, but he was arrested. So he wants to protest. You know, we love that man. So if a man is doing well, we should be proud. If we are to score Ibrahim Traore, his first 1 year or 2 years.
Thank you. We are talking about Nigeria now.
So for our own,
yes,
we are yet to feel it. Okay. You don't tell a blind man rain is falling. You don't need somebody to tell you food is on your stomach or food is coming to your stomach. If the president is serious, he should fight security with seriousness, not with tribalism. Fight security so that our people can go back to farm. If our people go back to farm, leave the road they are doing, leave the CNG. Just leave security. So if our people go back to farm, we will not have the complaint here.
Thank you. Thank you, Obari. Thank you so much. Aras, your last line, please, for this discussion.
Well,
For me, I think I have to advise the president to do more by creating a price control system. Even though the House of Assembly or the National Assembly are not willing to support, you can bring it up as an executive bill, because really it will help a lot to cure up these unions, the problem we have. It will be able to bring food price down excessively to the bare minimum for the people in the street. Because you cannot, everybody cannot go to the farm. Few will go to the farm, it will be brought to the majority. But if it is brought to the majority on a fair price, I think a lot of things will go well.
All right, thank you.
The president is doing well. I wish him to focus continuously on the infrastructure, the economic policies, military, do more.
All right.
Because without security, you can have a growing economy.
Thank you so much. Well, is Elvis there? Your last line, if Elvis is there, I'd like to have him say his last line in this discussion before we take a break. I'll go to the next discussion. Your advice for Mr. President and Nigerians.
Well, thank you very much, Wilson. I want to let you know that just recently, the Chief of Naval Staff came out and told us to pray and pray for security in Nigeria. That is a given. That should tell you something. So the point I'm making is very simple. We cannot pretend that all is well just because of our affiliations to a political party or an individual. You know, the people are feeling the impact of the bad policies of this government, and I can tell you that everything is tailored towards, even the roads, they are tailored towards the next election. They will drag them until the election is here. And then the people see, the people hear, the people know the truth of it. You cannot deceive the Nigerian masses, irrespective of those who are celebrating the government because, of course, maybe they are benefiting from the government one way or the other. But the masses at the grassroots are growling. They are wailing for bad policies, hunger, and a lot that is happening. Insecurity, it is just too much. Name it. So, December 2024, the government took away 31.5 billion naira from charges, transfer charges from the
Internet connectivity. Not to worry. We'll go for a break. You heard some points raised by Elvis Brown due to network issues, like it's like having this kind of statics and the rest of them. But I believe that after this, we're going to reestablish a stronger contact with Elvis Brown. Well, you've heard my analyst. They've spoken their mind on this particular issue. I have nothing more to say. You do the analysis of this particular examination of the midterm of President Bola MID-TENURE, and let's get to hear your own scorecard. Is it an A, B, C, D, E, or even an F? That truly will be what we want to watch.